if you're willing to make that change. Endless Customers for our company here at HomePride and what we've done in Colorado has just changed the entire game for us, and the trajectory that we're on is more than we could have ever expected or imagined.
You're listening to the Endless Customers podcast, brought to you by the team at Impact. Endless Customers is the proven system to become the most known and trusted brand in your market. If you want to start to learn the principles of Endless Customers and how you can implement them in your business, pick up a copy of Endless Customers, a national bestseller wherever books are sold. Ready to start implementing Endless Customers in your business? Talk to Impact about how our coaching program can help you implement Endless Customers to success. And if you want to experience Endless Customers in person, do not miss our upcoming conference, Endless Customers Live, in Chicago, March 30th through April 1st, 2026. Registration is now open. And now, onto the show. Here's your host, Alex Winter.
Today's episode is about what happens when a company decides to disrupt a traditional industry by answering buyer questions no one else is willing to touch and commits fully to how buyers want to learn. I'm joined by Coley. He's the content manager at HomePride Bath. Let's face it, home services is a crowded and conservative space, especially when it comes to marketing. However, HomePride chooses a different path. They committed to creating disruptive, buyer-focused content and went all in on video, with roughly 80% of their content built to meet buyers where they are. In this episode, we break down what it looks like to create content no one else in your space is making, how video has changed the buyer experience, and how Endless Customers has shaped HomePride's approach to content, confidence, and growth. Coley, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Alex. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. This is your first time on the show. I'm so excited that we're talking today, so thank you for taking the time. And I think a good place for us to start before we get into the meat and potatoes of our conversation is to really just set the stage for our viewers and for our listeners. Tell people a little bit about yourself and what you do and the company.
Absolutely. Thank you. So my name is Coley McAvoy. I am the content marketing strategist for HomePride Bath here in Centennial, Colorado. We are a home bath remodeling and kitchen cabinet restyling company. We are headquartered right outside of Denver in Centennial, Colorado. We are also one of 2 certified Kohler dealers for the state of Colorado. So we are a home remodeler that deals primarily in premium products. We do premium rebuilds. As we like to say, our job here is that we do 2 things. We build beautiful bathrooms and we make them amazingly affordable. So my job here at HomePride is basically a storyteller. As many content managers, I'm sure, can relate. My job is to bridge the gap between the expertise of my team and their skill set and what they're capable of doing, and bridging them with customers that are there in Colorado that are in need of a bathroom remodel and looking for a company that they can trust that is qualified to do the work. And so my job is, like I said, to bridge that gap and to share those stories that help to build that trust and understanding about our craftsmanship and how we do our business.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. Can you tell me a little bit? I love Denver, by the way. Before we started the show, I was talking with you about how much I miss Denver. I haven't been there in a while, but just a great city, great vibe. Can you talk a little bit about the space that you're in, the home service industry? It's very traditional in the way that it used to, like, people market it and how it's advertised, and it's again, I think the right word is very traditional. So how, as a content manager, are you finding ways to market and to speak to people in a different way and to stand out from the rest, from the noise?
Well, that's a great question, Alex. Thank you for asking that. Just to kind of give a little bit of a background, I believe the last time I checked, here in the state of Colorado, we are in a market, which of course is home remodeling, the home construction, home remodeling sector,
right,
which has about 20,000 different contractors just in the state of Colorado alone. So you have 20,000 voices, that are out there in the marketplace. And unfortunately, as you said, it is a very traditional business where everybody has marketed the same way. When I came into this industry, because my background as a marketer actually was, I spent 20 years marketing in the Southern California gaming sector. When I came out of gaming and came into home remodeling here in Colorado, one of the things that I noticed was that the marketing strategy seemed to be who could shout, "We have discounts," the loudest. It was crazy. Everybody led with the same thing. Everybody was leading with the same stock images. Everybody was leading with the same messaging about, oh, we can offer you $5,000 discount if you sign today. You name it. And I really felt that there was an opportunity, as well as the owner and our visionary leader, Matt Colligan, to really become disruptive and to do things in a non-traditional way. I think to crystallize it, it would be that we realized that the home services companies were marketing and selling in a way that was built around protecting their company. They were not empowering. They were not empowering buyers, right? And I think that when we looked at endless customers, it kind of gave us a framework to flip that, where we stopped hiding behind the cookie cutter templates that everybody else was doing. We started answering questions that buyers really wanted to know and were already Googling, to be quite honest. And I think that we made the decision to separate ourselves by committing to video. And I think it fundamentally started to change the conversations that we were having in the marketplace and the impact that we were having in separating ourselves from those 20,000 voices that I spoke about.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to find a way to disrupt in a meaningful way and meet buyers where they are and build trust. I love that you said video too, and we're going to unpack that. You're talking to a video guy here as well. I love all things video and that type of content, just because if you want to talk about building trust, that's one of the fastest and greatest ways to just meet people where they are. You don't have to over explain it. You can just demonstrate and show people what's up, and it just is super effective. And I love using that in our toolbox in the endless customer system here. So just real quick, you had said that you were content managing before, and you've come out of a content background in Southern California. What was it like learning the endless customer system, reading They Ask You Answer, now Endless Customers for you on your content journey, and how did that affect how you started to implement what you're doing now?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's kind of an interesting story. When I was marketing for a casino in San Diego County, we were facing similar circumstance to what many of the companies in remodeling are facing here. There was a lot of competition, and everybody was saying the same thing: loosest slots, safest slots, especially after COVID. And everybody was just marketing the same thing. You're going to win, win, win. And we realized that in order for us to separate ourselves, we wanted to really focus more on being human. And we wanted to explain that we are a casino that can offer you all of the same amenities that the other casinos do. But what makes us different is what we call We're All About You, where we're about the customer experience, where we could get to know you. Our foundation was built around making sure that customers knew if they came to our property that they would be treated like a person and not a number. And we did that through transparency. We did that through openness. We didn't make the same claims that others made. And so I came into this industry here in Colorado, having already witnessed the transformation that made, where we really found high intent gamblers and customers that really liked our property because they resonated with our messaging. And so what I liked about Endless Customers and They Ask You Answer was the way that Marcus Sheridan and has been able to really crystallize it in a way that it made sense to me. The more that I listened to it, I realized, oh, I've been doing some of that already. And yeah, absolutely it works. I saw it firsthand, and how it resulted in millions of dollars in revenue being generated that we didn't have prior. So I felt that the moment that I read it, the moment that I understood it, it was 100% spot on. And I decided that when I got brought on board with HomePride and we decided to adopt the system, that we were going to do it 1000%. We were going to hit every channel and hit this process and the system the way that it was designed, and just, see what we could accomplish doing that.
That's excellent. I love hearing that, and I can relate because it was the same for me. I remember the first time reading the book, and it wasn't anything groundbreaking, like earth-shattering. It just really reinforced a lot of things that I was already feeling, which it sounds like you were too, that it's like, let's just keep it real. Let's put the buyers first. Let's put the people first. Let's be relatable and transparent, and not try to be gimmicky and tchotchke and sell people on all this stuff that basically everyone else is saying. Like the "we're the best" adage is, if everyone says you're the best, who is the best? Nobody knows, right? So I love hearing that. So how did that for HomePride? How did that translate into your content? So as the content manager, when it comes to written content, video content, like you were saying, especially, how did that affect the content you were making and how you spoke to your buyers for HomePride?
Yeah, sure. So what that translated for us was this, is that as you mentioned earlier, this business is very traditional. And part of the tradition that came with this business and this industry is that many companies are not willing to give out pricing. They're not willing to put out competitor bids. In fact, many others discourage that activity and behavior, and not wanting to position themselves alongside other companies for fear that they're going to come in at a higher bid and they were not going to get the business. Traditionally in this business, we operate off what's called speed to lead. Leads are generated through lead aggregation sources, third parties that would provide HomePride and similar companies like ours with potential leads, people that may or may not be interested in a bathroom remodel. Mm-hmm. The key to your success, because everybody was doing the same thing, like you said, everybody's saying the same message, is that who could get there the fastest. If I'm the first person to get into the phone and talk to that person, I have the better chance of being the one that they book the appointment with, because as you mentioned, everybody's saying the same thing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so what we decided was that, is seeing how that's how this was operating, and everybody was saying the same things. There were a couple of factors that helped us kind of change the way that we approach this, both psychological as well as economical. So talking about economics real quick, just to kind of give you a little bit of a background. Sure. In home remodeling, the average cost per lead that we get is about $91. Now, when you look back at 5 years ago and you see that the average cost was $40 to $55 a lead, you're suddenly seeing how the cost of these leads and the cost of marketing is starting to trend upwards.
Yeah.
Now, conversely to that, as I'm sure you're already aware, in 2021, when Apple changed their policies with regards to mobile, and we're now giving consumers the option to opt out of data tracking, this was destructive to these lead generators and these lead aggregate providers, because people were now opting out. So now the quality of leads that they were getting were diminishing, because they were getting less and less and less data points and information. And of course, Google, they also followed suit 2022. Mm-hmm. Long story short, lead aggregators now were getting less quality leads. So we're spending more to get less. It's costing us more to produce less. And that was a trend that was getting very dangerous. And then, of course, when you add to that the fact that contractor fraud is just such... it's such a pandemic, really, if you would think about it. I was doing some research on this prior to the podcast. The FBI Denver office reported that in 2024 alone, $240 million in revenue cost to consumers from contractor fraud. That's not to say that all contractors are fraudulent. There's many legitimate contracting businesses like ours that operate off of integrity, trust. But unfortunately, there are other bad actors out there that overpromise, underdeliver, and basically people get subpar quality products that over time, this industry has developed a very bad reputation.
Wow. So that's staggering. Sorry to interrupt, but that you're talking about $250 million of fraudulent transactions happening for people that are consumers that are just trying to fix their home or do something meaningful to their house. I mean, that's staggering.
Absolutely.
That's hard to comprehend. And that's just in the Denver area, you're saying?
That was just in Colorado, and that was just for 2024. That was just 1 year.
I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah. And so the problem there, and you touched upon a great point, Alex, because if somebody is looking at remodeling their house, more than likely it's out of necessity. When somebody starts to look at a remodel or any sort of investment, it's going to cost them $18,000 to $20,000. There's obviously something very important or something very major happened to make that shift, where either their bathroom space has become unusable, it's starting to wear down, or families are growing and it just can't accommodate them anymore. Mm-hmm. And then so you're in need of a repair, you're in need of remodel, and then you find out that there's so many people out there that are scammers and fraud. So now, like I said, that speed to lead was becoming even less productive, because you're automatically answering the phone with skepticism, with fear that this contractor is going to try to defraud you. So that traditional system was just not working. And Matt Colligan, our founder and visionary, saw this trend, and he, as a contractor, was very committed anyway to transparency, to integrity. He was very heavily involved with the Better Business Bureau out here in Colorado for many years, and he felt that customers deserved trust, they deserved transparency, they deserved to be told the truth and be treated with respect, or as he phrased it, living with grace. So that was one of the many factors that led us to partnering with Impact and adopting the endless customers they ask you answer system.
Wow. I really love that. Can you say that one more time? It's living with grace. Is that right?
Yes. Live with grace. That's our motto, which basically, just to crystallize it, is that everybody deserves to be treated with respect, particularly those that are willing to welcome you into their home and trust you with their living space. You should understand that is a calling that deserves the highest respect, the highest integrity, and the highest in your production and values and how you handle yourself as a business. So he was very dedicated to keeping his company and his name and his reputation to a high standard of quality and excellence.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like he was very much focused on that, and what a great mission statement for the business. That's really refreshing to hear that, and I'm sure for a lot of people out there that need home remodeling done, it's reassuring to hear that as well. So good for you guys for making that claim and staking that very firmly in the ground. So I'm curious, how does that translate? And I want to get into the video piece now because I love video. I'm going to nerd out with you here a little bit. You've leaned heavily into video, and you've been working with Impact and with the coaches and trainers here at Impact. How has that helped shape your video content? I've heard that you've done some pretty epic 80% videos. Can you just talk a little bit about some of the content you've implemented and how and where it's helped shaped the buyer's journey for you on your journey with endless customers as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So video, as you mentioned earlier, I mean, video is just powerful. And one of the main reasons for that is simply answered in 2 words: cell phones.
Yes.
When as a marketer, I was weaned on the mantra that the formula for marketing is this: you have to have the right message given to the right customer at the right time on the right channel. And that channel part is crucial. And we are now in a very unique situation as retailers, as businesses, where there's 5 generations of buyers that are currently out in the marketplace. And each one of them has their own preference of where they go for information, what they search for, what they look at. And 4 out of those use their cell phones to do that. So you can imagine now how important video becomes, because if you're on this device and you're looking at it, we know that through data that people are more likely to watch a video than read content. In fact, I think what I read was video outperforms written content by 1,200%. So video is what people want to see, and what makes it powerful is that people can visualize and see what they're actually wanting. When you're thinking about a bathroom remodel, for instance, and you're looking at your old bathroom, and then you see somebody else in a video where you see an old bathroom instantly transformed before your eyes into a new Kohler system, tub to shower, whatever it may be, it's a powerful story. Visually, you're seeing it. You can now start to envision that happening in your own personal space. So realizing the potential that video had, we decided that we were going to go all in. When I came aboard the company as the content manager, we hired an in-house videographer. We were very, very fortunate to get a gentleman by the name of Julio, who was actually an Emmy award-winning videographer who worked for PBS for many years.
Wow.
So he brings with him such an expertise and understanding of the human interest story, which really is what we wanted to focus on in our content: real human interest, real Colorado homeowners, real bathrooms, real transformations, not flashy, glitzy models sitting in AI generated spaces that were airbrushed by Photoshop. Well, we wanted to show real homeowners, real customers who had real needs that chose to go with HomePride. So we brought him on board, and then we just decided we were going to follow the endless customer system and the they ask you answer system, because we felt that playbook was already proven. We believed that what Marcus Sheridan shared was true, and as you know, 80% video was a big part of that. So we sat down, and the more that we worked on this video, we scripted it. We actually had our founder Matt in the video. He's the one that's talking. which I love because it adds such a level of accountability that this is the owner, the CEO of the company, who is sharing these words to customers through this video, talking openly about our costs, talking openly about our timelines, talking about the fact that we are not the cheapest option. In fact, many times we are upfront the most costly option because we deal in a premium product, but then we also deliver the best long-term value, which I can talk about later if we can. But when you see him talking about actual costs, timelines, setting those expectations realistically, it made a huge impact to buyers because you're automatically building that trust without even having stepped foot in their door. People are getting to know you through video, through phones, through research before you ever have an opportunity to ever introduce yourself, speak to them one-to-one, if that ever happens. That first impression is now being built, in that open atmosphere of cellular technology and video screens. So, video for us was such a no-brainer, really. And so we developed our 80% video, and we started sending that out to customers after we spoke with them on the phone and set an appointment, so they knew what to expect when our design team arrived. In some cases, that was met with some hesitancy by our design team. They're like, if you tell them bathroom's going to cost $18,000 before we ever get in the door, they're not going to buy from us. They're going to go with someone cheaper. And the truth is that in some cases, yes, you're absolutely right, and they will. But that's okay, because better to have them do it now than you to drive 2 hours out to their home, since we service all of Colorado, and find out there, oh, by the way, we're $18,000. Well, that's way out of our price league. Sorry. All that time was wasted. All that energy was wasted. The trust was compromised because now you just wasted a homeowner's precious time where they had to sit through a 90-minute demonstration to find out this is not going to work for them. So video has been huge for us. We have doubled down on it through before and after transformation videos, our 80% video, testimonials, which have been so powerful from real customers, that it's just, if you're not using video, you're just obviously you're missing out on the most powerful opportunity you have to market any business. People will resonate with what they can see and see and verify for themselves more than they ever will anything that you might write.
Truer words have never been spoken. I could not agree with you more. And what you're saying too, when it comes to assignment selling, which is a very big part of the endless customer system, video is one of the best ways to do that. And there's nothing better than already having somebody feel like they know you before you've even spoken to them, before you've ever even met them. They're already like, oh, hey, Coley, I saw you in that video. It's so nice to meet you. Like, it already starts to build trust and bridge these gaps that would take a lot more time to do. And I think something important that you said too, I can understand the sales team or some of the people being like, what if they can't afford it? And why are we saying this? But you're right. You want to be respectful, not just of your time, but of the buyer's time too. And it's better to just hash it out and get it out right up front, and just be respectful of that space versus driving 2 hours somewhere and then finding out after the fact and wasting everybody's time. So I think that's a very valuable lesson that, sometimes quantity over quality, that's the conversation that people have. It's like, do you really want a bunch of leads that might not be qualified, or would you rather have less leads that are well qualified and know exactly what they want from you, and you can have a very quick way to close and move forward with generating great business. So I love hearing all that. How does that play into, and this is going to segue into my next question, how does that play into your sales pipeline and revenue in general for your company? So after implementing this and starting to leverage video content and written content, what have you seen as far as growth, or as far as like some results and numbers that maybe you could share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you give me just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you, and I will share some actual data.
Little show and tell. I love it.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead, and obviously for those that are listening to this podcast, we will explain it as well, so you know exactly what it is that we're sharing here.
Awesome.
So we launched our website through Impact and working with the Impact team September 3rd, 2025. So we have been active with our website about 5 months. So the last 5 months is where we've put in the videos, the 80%, the one-to-one videos, the whole inbound marketing system as designed by Endless customers. So what I've put together after running some analytics, I did some research on ChatGPT because I wanted to find out if there was any benchmark information for companies like mine. So to preface all the data I'll share, let me say that what I used as the benchmark was small companies like ours, where we only have the one office, that are in the home remodeling sector here in Colorado, that offer high ticket revenue or high ticket purchase items. In this case, bathroom remodels, which average about $20,000 a ticket.
Okay.
So that's what I used as the baseline. So looking at our performance through inbound marketing. So right here, just to kind of throw some quick numbers, you'll see that since we launched our website in September, between September and February, we've seen 153% in our organic traffic growth. And that's all just through our written and video content. We have a current website conversion rate. By that, I mean visits to our website and then people who then fill out the form for us to contact them. That's our lead generation conversion. We're at a 10.9% conversion rate with there. And since September, we've already been able to generate over $409,000 in revenue just from our content and through implementing the Endless customer strategy.
Wow. That's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love seeing that, and I love hearing that. If that's not inspiring or motivating, I don't know what is. That's just great to see. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So here, if looking at this chart, you can see when we started in September, organic traffic was about 600 sessions. We peaked in January to almost 2,129 sessions in January. Wow. So just in that short, rapid span, our content, the keyword usage, our SEO, AEO, AI strategies that we were implementing with help with the Endless Customers team and our own work. Like I said, we saw our organic traffic grow more than double. And it's more than double the industry growth benchmark of 20 to 40%, which is what most companies like ours are doing right now. So think about that. Most companies are doing 20 to 40% through their website, doing traditional AI photos, the models, the what have you.
Right.
By going genuine, by going organic, by humanizing our content, by adding in real customer testimonies, pictures and videos, and content that's educational, we have grown 153% in that same span.
Wow.
Our website conversion, just to kind of give you again an understanding against benchmark performance, we had 477 form views in September with the launch of our website. And through that, we got 52 qualified submissions. We are seeing, like I said, that's at a 10.9% conversion rate versus the industry benchmark, which is 2 to 5%. So again, we are performing more than double in our conversions with what many other companies like ours are seeing through their website. For inbound revenue contributions, again, 15 projects have generated $409,000 in revenue. And again, this is all coming through just organic traffic, videos that we were able to link to our website from YouTube, our social media channels, our blog articles, which we're getting about anywhere between 1,800 to 2,000 reads a month. It's just the results speak for themselves, really. And like I said, as you can see, in many key areas, we are just outperforming industry benchmarks. And we're just, the real exciting thing about this is that we've just started, and obviously there's so much room to grow. There's so much room to scale with this that it's very exciting. What I'd really like to talk, though, I think where I think it really resonates now is if we look at our sales funnel and the performance metrics there. So again, looking at our current funnel, we are from contact. So from the percentage of people that are seeing our video, filling out a form, and we call them and are actually booking in appointments with us, we're seeing 83% of those viewers do that, where the industry benchmarks anywhere between 55 to 70%. So people now who are getting content up front, are doing their own research, who are more educated and more informed about us, who are then filling out that form saying, yeah, contact us. 83% of them are resulting in us having appointments with them in their homes, sharing and talking about our products. So we have a 95% appointment show rate. So what this means is that when we book an appointment, they keep it. They're not canceling. They means that signals to me high intent buyers, right? This is someone who's serious about purchasing. They're already aware of the cost expectations behind this through the content we've provided to them. We've made it very clear. The 10 to 12 week wait times in some cases for products to be manufactured, and still maintaining a 95% show rate, which is above the industry standard of 75 to 85. And then really what's exciting is that we have a 100% demo to sale rate. So when we've actually demoed for these homeowners, in this case, there were 15 of them where we came in and we demoed, we gave them our product, we showed them, they could touch and feel it for themselves. We had 100% demo to sale close rate, which obviously is just
100%. I have to interrupt and just say, like, is everyone seeing this correctly? 100% close rate. That is demo to sale close. That's unheard of. That's incredible.
One of our testimonials is from a woman named Carol in Pueblo, Colorado, whose job is to protect people from contractor fraud. That is her business. She educates people on what to look for, how to protect themselves against contractor fraud, and then and remediation following it. She chose HomePride because of the fact that we were the most transparent. We offered information up front. Not only that, but we also gave her easy access to explore our BBB reviews, our Google reviews, which are at 4.5 stars. So she could see not only the positives, but the negatives and how we responded to the negatives. All of it, it helped her make that decision that I'm going to go with HomePride versus the other remodelers that had contacted her. To have that kind of advocacy, where someone whose job as a contractor fraud specialist is to protect people from it and tell them, listen, this is the company that I chose because they do it the right way, was just so encouraging. And again, that was all through the video content and the materials and the pieces that we published that let her make an informed decision before we ever walked in the door. And then obviously having our designers show up. Stacy in this case, and he tells a story over and over again that how that video and her advocacy has then later secured at least 4 jobs that I know where they shared that video with homeowners in their homes and watching this lady speak. And they said, you know what? Let's do this. Let's make this decision here and now. That video, that testimonial gave them the added confidence to make an investment in some cases, which was $18,000, $24,000, $25,000. So I think, again, it just really speaks to the power that content really can have on your business and for your business, particularly with it being completely organic. This was something that she agreed to do of her own time, of her own volition. All we had to do was provide a camera. So
yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so inspired right now. And if people out there watching, listening, if you're not seeing those numbers and hearing those numbers and hearing these stories, it really works. And it's so powerful what can happen if you do this the right way. And you guys clearly are doing it the right way and building so much trust. And I couldn't be happier for you guys. So I'm curious, what's it like working with an Endless Customers coach? What's it like having Impact coach and train you on this? And how is that helping you? You said you've been doing this for a short while and you're already having these epic results. Where is that going to take you into the future? And why do you see the value in the coaching from Impact?
Sure. So let me approach the first part of the question, and then I'll go into the second part. So what it's been like for us to have endless customer coaches has been really nothing short of just it's been an incredible experience. And I say that because of the fact that when you enter into the system, and if you're operating in the traditional way, you're already coming in with hesitancy. You're already coming in like, is this really going to work? I don't know. It might not work for us, But in our case, what we got with the Endless Customers coaching was not just their expertise, but what I really appreciated was the accountability. I'm gonna call out a gentleman that I work with very closely as a content manager, John Becker. And John is my content coach and has been since I joined the team last April. And what I love about John is that John holds me accountable. And when I say accountable, I mean this. Like, I write a blog article. And sometimes as a writer, when you've been writing for 2+ hours, you may take some assumptions that, you've made points or you, and quite frankly, you just want to be done writing. So you may glance over something, and John would read my articles and come back to me. Hey, Coley, listen, this section here, I think it could be fleshed out more. I think that you're just skimming over it. I think there's a lot to unpack here that would really be of value to the customer. And that's the accountability that I appreciated, because I needed to be brought back to, that's right, this is through the customer's perspective. I'm writing this for the sake of the customer lens. And having a coach that is outside of me, outside of my head, to give me the accountability was great. And designing the website, we worked with Mary Brown, and Mary was a fantastic coach. She and I, we developed our website in 6 weeks. And I say 6 weeks from the start of the framework that was provided to us through HubSpot. We went with one of the trust module through HubSpot.
Yeah,
so between
teams.
Yep. Between the framework and the framing of it, to writing it and then producing all the content in Figma, to then taking that content in Figma once it was looked over by her and her team and then published out live on web pages, was 6 weeks. I have developed 3 websites over the course of my career. And each one on average, I would say, was a project that took 6 to 8 months before we completed it. To have produced a high-powered website that is operating the way that it is now, with some minor tweaks for sure, but to have done that in 6 weeks, that was a really testament to Mary being available all the time to answer questions, to walk me through some of the modules I didn't understand, and again, to give me that extra eye on the quality of the content that we were producing, giving her insights. I would tweak this, I changed that. It was invaluable to me in producing the website. And then last but not least, we've also worked very closely with Vin Gaeta, who was our lead consultant with the assignment selling piece, and the way that he has helped our team understand the process, understand its value, giving us practical tips and guidelines on how to better incorporate it with our sales team, how to get our sales team more bought in and more involved and more invested in this process has also been invaluable. So I would say that having a coach, there's no way that we would have the success that we've seen were it not for the influence that they've provided us on all those levels. So that being said, I think that what they also really helped us to realize is that organic strategy, in my opinion, is changed. It's not about maximizing volume anymore. I think it's maximizing your buyer intent and your revenue efficiencies. And by that, let me unpack that a little bit. What this means is like you said, it's no longer like, we've got to, the more the better. We just got to put quantity out there, quantity.
Right.
No, it's about the quality of each piece that you produce. I think that in today's day and age, when homeowners now have access to a cell phone or doing their own research, they can get access to their information. And now with AI, it's become even easier to get the information that you need without having to go to a single person. Right. No longer are the gatekeepers in charge. There's no such thing as gatekeeping anymore. Having the Endless Customers team there to help us really understand that concept, that it's no longer about volume, it's about quality. It's about the quality of educating our buyers to make sure that by the time they're reaching you, the intent is there, the expectation has been set, the trust has already been built through your videos. That has been also just a huge part of the success that we have seen in the 5 short months that we've been running this.
Wow. It's 5 months and you've already accomplished so much. And I do have to say, I've been through my fair share of website rebuilds or migrations or starting from scratch, and 6 weeks is very accelerated. And for it to still be working and be that effective, I love hearing that. I love hearing your experience with all your coaches. That's just wonderful. And listen, the website's a living, breathing thing. You never just set it and forget it. That's the wrong way to look at it or approach it. So you're always tweaking and iterating. But regardless, that's just Amazing stuff to hear. Yeah. So my last question for you, for people out there that don't know about Endless Customers, what would you say to them if they were asking you about it? Like, Coley, this seems to be working so well for you. Where should I start? What should I do? What would you recommend? What would you say back to them?
Sure. Well, I think I would first lead with this, is that if you don't like the results that you're getting, and you want to get differentiated results, then you have to take differentiated actions, right? It's like a recipe, right? If you put in chocolate into your cake mix, you're going to get chocolate cake. There's no way you're going to get a vanilla cake. And so to kind of hone in on what I would tell customers that are considering Endless Customers is that I know it's going to feel scary. There's going to be some hesitancy because transparency feels risky. But we're seeing it that when you incorporate it in the right ways through the right channels, you're going to just get the results that you're looking for. You're going to get that better, higher acquisition rate with lesser cost. You're going to see an improvement in organic like we have. There is no magic sauce. There is no magic formula that we have done to achieve the growth that we have. It has been following this guideline that Endless Customers has provided. They have the support. They have the framework, and you just have to commit 100%. And I think that would be the biggest thing, especially to content managers out there. If you're going to do this, commit 100% to it. Don't just do some of it and skip over some of the others. It's a living, breathing ecosystem that you're developing and designing, particularly in inbound marketing and organic, whether it be your website, through your social media channels, through your video, through your YouTube channel, through your blogs, whatever the case may be. In order for it to succeed, you have to give it your full commitment. But I promise you that what you put in, you're going to get back out in huge dividends. And it's about not having to be the flashiest. It's about being the most honest. It's about being trusting. So the real question, that I would ask people out there is that if you're unhappy with what you're seeing and what you're doing now, if you're willing to make that change, Endless Customers for our company here at HomePride and what we've done in Colorado has just changed the entire game for us, and the trajectory that we're on is more than we could have ever expected or imagined, and we're just super excited. So yeah, I would say make the decision, go full hog, and congratulations.
Yes, I love that. Well, congratulations to you and the entire HomePride team. Coley, you just have such an infectious, energetic, it exudes out of you, man. I feel so inspired, and I hope that our viewers and our listeners are as inspired as I am, because this has just been a super motivating conversation. So thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing the HomePride story with us.
Oh, thank you, Alex, for your time today. I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. We're going to have you back on the show in the near future. I want to hear how the next 5 months shape up and all the success and where it takes you into the future here. It's going to be epic.
Sounds great.
All right. Sounds great. And for everybody out there watching and listening, thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Alex Winter. This is Endless Customers. We'll catch you on the next episode.